Hello everyone, in this lesson I will talk about Cisco Software Defined Access, SDA, SDA Fabric, Underlay and Overlay, DNA Center, SDA Operations and finally DNA Center as a network management platform. Let's talk about SDA Fabric, Underlay and Overlay on this page. Cisco Software Defined Access is a completely new way to build campus networks compared to traditional networking methods. Cisco began designing SDA and campus networks from 7 in mid-2010, using a software-defined architecture model with an SDA controller and various application programming interfaces. This architecture still uses a physical network that includes switches, routers, cables, and various endpoints. As shown in the figure below, the digital network architecture DNA software is used as the central controller. Automation is achieved using a graphical user interface and application programming interfaces. In short, DNA Center works as the controller of SDA networks. Architecturally, the controller on the SBI side includes Fabric, Underlay, and Overlay. Now let's look at Overlay first. Overlay, it creates VXLAN tunneling mechanisms between SDA switches and then uses the SDA structure to move traffic from one device to another. As part of the process of creating Overlay VXLAN types, Underlay uses wired and wireless connections to dynamically discover all SDA-enabled devices and provide IP connectivity for the devices. Fabric, on the other hand, uses a combination of Overlay and Underlay, which offers all the features in one place to transmit data over the network. The figure here illustrates the SDA architectural model of the DNA Center. On this page, let's take a look at the details of SDA Underlay and Overlay. SDA Underlay Overlay does the task of providing connections between switches in SDA environment to support VXLAN tunnels in the network. Underlay uses the wired and wireless connections that make up the physical network to do this. Let's look at using existing devices for SDA Underlay. Companies have two basic options for building an SDA Underlay network, either using existing campus networks or alternatively purchasing new switches and setting up the SDA network without worrying about damaging existing traffic and moving endpoints to the new SDA network over time. Now let's look at using new devices for SDA Underlay. Getting new devices for SDA structure eliminates many difficulties that can be encountered when using existing devices. We can easily order compatible hardware and software, and with DNA Center we can automatically configure all Underlay features. Now let's look at SDA Overlay. First, an endpoint sends a frame to be delivered over the SDA network. The first SDA switch that receives the frame encapsulates and transmits the frame using a tunneling feature called VXLAN. Other SDA switches transmit these frames according to VXLAN tunnel details. The last SDA switch removes the VXLAN details and forwards the original frames to the destination endpoint. As shown in this figure, the Overlay VXLAN tunnel between the two switches encapsulates and transmits the frames from the user here to the user here. In order for the VXLAN tunnel here to form, Underlay must first be formed on the switches, and for the Underlay to form, the IP blocks in the 172.16.0.0 subnet are used as shown here, and the devices here are first given an Underlay IP and they help to set up the VXLAN tunnel in the Overlay and Underlay to ensure that the process is carried out. On this page, let's talk about DNA Center and SDA operation. Cisco DNA Center has two important roles in our networks, the first role of which is to act as a controller for new devices that use SDA. Its second task is to work as a network management platform for network devices that are not SDA capable, that is, traditional legacy devices. The figure here shows the structure of the DNA Center. We have devices on the bottom, we have the DNA Center in the middle, and the top side shows the northbound interface. It communicates with other applications here using the northbound interface. It communicates with the network devices on the bottom using the SBI interface. On this page, let's look at using DNA Center as a network management platform. Cisco Prime Infrastructure product is used to manage traditional corporate networks. Cisco Prime Infrastructure has been used for network management in companies for many years. Let's look at the benefits that this software provides us. We can use all Prime Infrastructure functions and features through a single graphical user interface. It discovers network devices and creates an inventory and creates a topology map. It provides support for traditional enterprise LAN, WAN, and data center management functions, and uses SNMP, SSH, and Telnet, as well as CDP and LLDP, to view and learn information about devices on the network. Simplifies the configuration of quality of service on each device. It allows us to manage both wired and wireless networks from the same management platform. It manages software on network devices and automates their updates. After physically setting up the new device, connecting a network cable, and operating the device, it performs the initial setups for that device. It runs as an application on a server platform with access to Prime Infrastructure's graphical user interface via a web browser. You can purchase Prime Infrastructure Server from Cisco as a software package that you can install and run on your servers, or as a physical device. Now let's look at the aspects of DNA Center similar to traditional management. All the features of DNA Center are similar to traditional management software. For example, both can discover network devices and create a network topology map. When we look at the figure here, it shows the network topology map in the DNA Center, and it shows us the devices in our network here. In this figure, when we click on a device in the topology, it shows more detailed information about that device. On this page, let's look at the differences between traditional management and DNA Center. Broadly speaking, there are a few key differences between Cisco DNA Center and traditional network management platforms such as Cisco Prime Infrastructure, the biggest difference being that Cisco DNA Center supports SDA, while other management applications do not. Cisco Prime Infrastructure has some traditional management features that are not currently available in the DNA Center, so Cisco focuses on the future SDA features of the DNA Center while making extensive use of the Prime Infrastructure software with many of these features for traditional device management. By improving the features of Cisco DNA Center, it aims to simplify the work done by businesses and make changes much faster at lower costs. Let's talk about some features that are unique to Cisco DNA Center. Easy quality of service features, which are complex to configure manually, can be done in a few simple steps with Cisco DNA Center. Cisco DNA Center enables the use of different algorithms to recognize security threats even in encrypted traffic, provides comprehensive information about the health status of devices. Another benefit it provides us is time travel on the network, helping us by showing historical client performance on a timeline to compare current behaviors. These are some of the features that are unique to the DNA Center, so goodbye to see you in our next lesson.